This KFAN podcast is sponsored by Builders and Remodelers, exclusive Twin Cities provider of Elements Windows. Get the highest quality windows at unmatchable value. Visit buildersandremodelers.com for more details.
And boom!
Common man, no show prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, begins a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common man, charge the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh, boy. Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Some joker was going to write about what kind of game we said it was going to be.
Yeah. Quack, quack.
Straight up. Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, 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 cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out.
Yeah, Rosie.
I didn't say that, Common. Don't put words in my mouth.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing what a sophisticated offensive game plan looks like. You talk about... Oh, boy.
He's dead. Well, he's dead.
It was a nice run.
Is wearing women's underwear part of your turn-on?
Yeah, baby.
And listen to
I always love
Cooley.
that one. Yeah, baby.
We're not going home yet, baby! Just...
We're happy for you.
Mark, they can't pitch. They can't hit. What is with... I mean, come on.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the north.
Some of that's true.
This is the common man, Dan Cole.
You know, I only bring it up. It doesn't really matter much to me. It doesn't mean that much to me to mean that much to you. You know what song that's from, Kennedy? It's a brilliant lyric. Think about it.
Say that lyric again.
It doesn't mean that much to me to mean that much to you.
I recognize the lyric. I just can't place it with the song.
Keeps me searching for a heart of gold. Yeah. No, it's not. It's from Old Man. It's from Old Man, take a look at my life. I'm a lot like you. That's what it's from.
Quite the falsetto you got there.
Thank you. Not as good as yours. Every day we just get all sorts of topics dumped into our laps. Vikings quarterback controversy continues. The bye is here. The Wild, the Wolves are off. The Wolves last night, Ant was there. He played. We lose in overtime to Indiana, two teams that don't like each other very much. So many topics to get to. I'm not sure where to start. Let's spin the wheel of topics.
Commons golf game.
What did you shoot today?
76 trombones, boom, ba boom, ba boom. I'm playing.
Where'd we play?
We played at Loggers Trail.
Where'd you hit it on?
Right up the gut.
How far from the greenwood?
I had a 7-iron in my hand. I should have been hitting 8. I'm now hitting my ball again now that I'm swinging the proper way, doing all my checklist, and not being fidgety and jumpy and. Well, I'm now hitting my 9-iron 130 yards. There have been times this year where my 7-iron is 130-yard club. How bad is that? I could go over and shot. I might even start a Common Man daily round podcast so I can really dive deep.
Oh, man, but that could throw all the ratings.
That's what I thought. I thought that would be one of those trending kind of podcasts. The Common Man daily golf round podcast where I go in depth. Not just going over each shot, but what I'm thinking prior to each. Look, do you have a headache? It looked like you were just kind of rubbing. You were doing the old. You're just thinking, why am I here? He's talking about his golf round again.
Yeah, you nailed it. Yeah,
I can't help it that Wheel of Topic came up on Common Man's golf game. I hit so many, and I made 3 consecutive bogeys, and in each one, 2 of my hit bad chips and 1 a bad wedge. I let a shank, I shouldn't even say the word, from last week get into my head on 16. I had 74 yards, and I thought, this is the exact same yardage I had last week when I shanked this 54-degree 3/4 knockdown punch cut fade wedge. And so I chicken winged it and got it halfway to the green and then couldn't get up and down, but here's probably what happened. After I made a brilliant up and down from behind the green on the par 3 13th, again, I hit it too good. I'm just puring the ball. I got to readjust my distances on my clubs.
Your scores are off, but you're hitting it great.
Yeah. And I was thinking about how I was this is how far ahead of myself I got. This was probably the problem. When Dark was going to ask me if it landed on Wheel of Topic, which it did, if Dark was going to ask me, what'd you shoot today? I was going to say, I had an experience that was not unlike that of a PGA Tour player, because that's where I thought I was going.
I
bogeyed the first 2 holes, and then I parred 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Birdied 8. I hit a hybrid into 3 feet. Then I parred 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13. I'm 1 over standing on 14 tee box, thinking, well, 14 is that short par for the one that you almost drove that day. I'm thinking, well, I'll make par here, maybe birdie. I'm thinking I'm shooting 70 or 71 is what's going through my head, and I got ahead of myself, and you can't do that in the game of golf. But it was fun.
You have to get one shot at a time is what you need to do.
Yes. Sort of like, remember the show One Day at a Time with Valerie Bertinelli?
I do not know.
Tend to be, which famous rock star was Valerie Bertinelli married to at one time? He's dead now.
No idea.
Eddie Van Halen.
Oh.
The answer would be, who is Eddie Van Halen?
I didn't even know Eddie Van Halen was dead.
Dead rocks. I think he is. I
don't know. I just don't know him well enough to know whether he's alive. I can tell you what he looks like.
I may have killed him off and he's not even dead. I think he's dead. Maybe he's still alive and well. Every now and then I know it's kind of hard to tell.
He died in 2020.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Valerie Bertinelli was in a show called One Day at a Time with Michelle Phillips, who was the daughter of the Phillips guy from the Mamas and the Papas, and allegedly, this is what she claims, she was sexually abused by her dad. What a wonderful way to grow up. And then I don't remember the name of the mom in the series, but it was an old 80s show, 70s or 80s show, something like that. Major development. I have some. The button bar looks different today. Have you noticed?
Different colors or something?
Well, yeah, everything's different. I'll have to show it to you. I have. Give me 1 second, because this sounder is needed for this. Breaking news. Excitement is starting to build in the twin towns of New London Spicer. Apparently, the city council held an emergency meeting last night, and they have declared this coming Saturday Meat Sauce and Common Man Day in New London Spicer. And the Chamber of Commerce says, you know how I always ask you, do you like parades? They're going to have a parade in Meat Sauce and I's honor. You don't believe any of that, do you? We're still doing comedy, even though ticket sales have been tepid.
Oh.
We're going up there, Tickets are still available. I think we're giving away another pair.
Where is Spicer? Is that like up by St. Cloud?
Yeah, it's up in the sort of that neck of the woods. Yeah, well, ask Rosen. You know him. He knows his Minnesota geography better than anybody. He likes to go camping and roughing it. He'll go up to like Cold Spring, which is up in that area. Did you know there's not a grocery store within 20 minutes of where Rosen stayed? Because he's always been an urban guy. He's never lived in a place. He's always lived in Minneapolis, St. Paul. So wherever he's lived,
he doesn't even know like the suburbs or the exurbs.
No, he has no idea. So where
he couldn't tell you where Maple Grove is.
No.
And
so he doesn't realize that sometimes you have to drive a little ways to get to places. It's like, if you have a secluded place, very secluded. That's an old inside joke. Very secluded. Then you sometimes you got to drive 20 minutes to get to a grocery store. It's just the way,
amazing.
Yeah, you do. But he was astounded by it. But the good news for Mark when he travels like that into the wilderness, it's so refreshing because no one recognizes him. So that's refreshing. I'm hoping people will recognize us in New London Spicer.
Are you more of a New London guy or a Spicer guy?
Well, I think we're in Spicer proper.
Okay.
So but I like them both. We call them the Twin Towns.
Yeah.
Of New London Spicer. So we will be there, and I am really truly looking forward to it. Larry Mandela guy will be our MC, and then Sauce will. I'm going to close again because Sauce is he's trying to make a comeback. He's been working on new material he claims, and then I reminded him of some of his old. Go back to some of your classic old bits because now he just goes up there and just starts babbling and wandering around on the stage, and then just leaves after 17 minutes. But I think he's told me he's going to put his put forth his best effort, and he is raring to go. Let's regroup. That was a very controversial, action-packed, fast-paced first segment. We got plenty to get to. I've not heard from Brian Oake. He usually texts me and says, "Are we still on for today?" I've not received that text.
He texted me today because he asked me if we were doing Rock Rank.
Oh, okay, good. So then that means he will be here at 12:30. The legendary Mark Rosen will join us just before 2 o'clock. Also, 5:34 before the top of the hour. Other side of the break, controversial Vikings news with Pete at the Purple. That's next here on, and by the way, Tennessee has a keyword on the Comment program on the Fan.
Yeah, the Fan and two men in a junk truck want to give you a shot to win bonus bucks for their national cash contest. Just enter the keyword GRAND at KFAN.com now for a shot at winning. That keyword is GRAND. Enter now at KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is back on KFAN. We have 9 chances for you to win $1,000 every weekday. That's every hour from 9 a.m. until 5 p.m. To enter the keywords and learn more, head to KFAN.com. Bonus Bucks is presented by two men in a junk truck.
13:14 past. I'm Common. He's Tennessee. Peak at the Purple is brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Did you know it's Fire Prevention Safety Week? And the folks at Affordable Electric can help you with that. Your hardwired smoke detectors are very, very important. As a matter of fact, I had Nick out at my place earlier this summer to take a look at my smoke detectors to make sure they were up and running properly. Hardwire smoke detector beeps to signal several issues, including low backup battery, clogged sensor, maybe an electrical problem, and they can handle that at Affordable Electric or the alarm reaching the end of its lifespan. So, National Fire Prevention Safety Week. So why not get a hold of the folks at Affordable Electric? Come on and take an inspection of your smoke detectors. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. Shockingly affordable. Thought I'd do a little, what do we call that? Falsetto. Falsetto on that. At Tennessee, this is Peak at the Purple, but leading off the Peak at the Purple, do you think that time is standing still right now? And here's why I ask you this.
Sometimes during noon to 3, yes.
Yes. Hold on. Yeah, it does seem like the show just goes on and on and on, and really with no direction. The direction unknown and a place called home. Athletic released its National Football League power rankings. And I believe the world is now standing still because guess who's the number one team in pro football, according to The Athletic? The Motor City Kitties. I don't know if they've ever been considered the best team in pro football.
I feel like in the last 2 years they had to have at one point, don't you think?
I don't know. Detroit Lions, number one. Last week they were number 3. Here's what it says. The season opening loss to the Packers feels like ancient history after 4 consecutive wins, but the easy part of their schedule is over and a brutal stretch awaits, especially without cornerback Terry and Arnold. The next 5 games are against the Chiefs, the Buccaneers, the Vikings, the Commanders, and the Eagles, because the Kitties really haven't, you look at strength of schedule, they beat the Bears, the Ravens, the Browns, and the Bengals. Now, going into the season, that Ravens-Bengals, both of those seem like, really difficult games. And had the Ravens lost, they lost the 1-pointer to the Bills before the Kitties game, I believe. So it wasn't as though they had fallen off the face of the earth. They gave the Bill, or did they lose after the Kitties game? Do you remember? Because the Ravens lost back-to-back. They've only won one game. They either lost to...
Well, the Buffalo game, that was the first game of the year, was it not?
I don't remember. That's why I'm asking. I don't remember. I can barely remember what I had.
Sunday Night Football.
I can tell you each shot I hit today. If you want me to go over it, I could. Anyway, they've not beaten anybody, really, to be honest with you. Tampa Bay at number 2. What do you make of that? Is that because of that victory over? They're
a quality team. I mean, they're a playoff team. They've obviously won a bunch of games in dramatic fashion here, so they've shown that they can step up when and Baker Mayfield can play when the lights are on the brightest, and they need to get points. They get points. So Tampa Bay definitely should be. I mean, you could argue who's number 2, but if you want to put them in the top 5, top 6, I think yes, they deserve to be there.
Do you believe this? I saw, and
according to my power rankings, which is the standings, they are tied for the best record in football.
Yes, I also saw ESPN yesterday. They do these panel shows, and they're always asking questions about this. Like who's the best at this? Who's the power rankings for everything, right? In issues teams face. And one of the questions on the crawl was, is Baker Mayfield a top 5 quarterback in the NFL? I think I've made no bones about it for the past few years. I've been a big Baker Mayfield guy. Particularly, what really struck me more than anything is remember when he played for the Browns and he actually lived at the stadium? I mean, he would turn off the lights and everything for him. That was, to me, going above and beyond the call of duty. But I like him. He's exciting. He's fun to watch. Yeah, he'll try to force the ball into places sometimes that he shouldn't, and he'll turn it over on occasion, but I like him. They have Philadelphia ranked at number 3, tend to be, followed by the Buffalo Bills at 4. There's a lot of 4-1 teams.
Yes.
All of these teams are 4-1. Buffalo's 4-1. The Jacksonville Jaguars are at number 5 after beating the Chiefs. They're also 4-1. San Francisco is 6. Indianapolis is 7. They're both 4-1. Then is Green Bay at number 8. They are 2-1-1. Followed by the LA Rams at 3-2. The Rams at number 9. Your Broncos at 10, 3-2. Commanders at 11, Seahawks at 12, Steelers at 13. And the Steelers are 3-1, and there's several 3-2 teams ahead of them.
Yeah.
Which, that's why, power rankings aren't inexact science, and even standings. Sometimes you look at a 3-1 team, and it depends who they played, right? Just because there's 3-1 doesn't necessarily mean they have to be ahead of a 3-2 club. Chargers, Chiefs at 15, and they're 2-3. That's the respect they have for them. Then your Minnesota Vikings check in at 16, tend to be. So they're basically the best of the lousiest.
Yeah.
And the lousiest are the best. Here's the paragraph for the Vikings. It reads as follows. A well-earned, and then it has in parentheses, and probably much needed, break is on the horizon after becoming the first team in league history to play back-to-back international games in 2 different countries. It hasn't been the prettiest start for this team, and the Vikings haven't exactly beaten top teams. Kevin O'Connell got Jordan Addison rolling late after an early benching, and things trend toward J.J. McCarthy coming back after the bye. Which, again, we've been debating, since he first sprained his ankle and missed a game. I think Mark Craig wrote, I think it was Craig, because we've had the debate. Rosen yesterday thinks absolutely positively when McCarthy's ready, he should come back in. And you think it's a bit more complicated than that, right? Or do you think automatically he should be back in?
I don't think automatically he should be back in.
I'm with you.
I think what they're going to do is, it's going to get this time this week, he's going to start practicing, but they're going to do the old, well, he's not fully back where he can do all the things that he previously could. We'll let Carson Wentz get another week. Now, the danger there is, if you did want to bring J.J. McCarthy back, is it actually better to have him start at home against Philadelphia? Just a little bit easier of an environment. Offensive line protection is probably going to be a little bit better at home. If Carson goes out to takes on Philadelphia and doesn't do well, and then you want to make the change, now you've got to throw JJ right back in the mix with 2 road games at LA and Detroit.
Maybe somebody can help me with this. I thought it was Mark.
Though LA is not the most ruckus crowd,
right? I thought it was Mark Craig who wrote this. I know I read it last night. Maybe it wasn't Mark Craig. So I'm looking through the. I'm looking at the Fish Wrap Factory. West Side, and I'm looking for the latest from Mark Craig, but I don't see it. But I think it was either Craig or maybe it was somebody with The Athletic wrote, basically that if a guy's playing well, you stick with them. You don't have to go back to somebody else. It was, and that's how I feel. And even that can be complicated as well. For instance, let's say Patrick Mahomes, who's the backup in Kansas City?
I believe it's Gardner Minshew now.
Okay, so let's say Mahomes gets injured. He's out for 3 weeks. He's ready to play. And Gardner Minshew's playing pretty well. I don't think you'd look at Mahomes and go, you have to sit on the bench for a while, Patrick, because Gardner Minshew is on a roll. So that every situation has to be treated differently. And I'm now starting to believe, though, and you're right with the way they're kind of. Well, it might be remember it was going to be a 2-3 week thing. Now it's a 4 to 6 or whatever. But I still get the feeling that if he's ready to go for the against Philadelphia, that he will start the game. I think they're going to force feed him. And you could make that argument. Rosen has and other people. We got to see what we've got. I've had some spirited debates with salespeople. All the young guys here are all duckies and bunnies, and they all want to see what we've got with McCarthy. Is he for real? So far, what we've seen, you probably say we don't, but that's only 2 games. But we'll see how that works out. A peek at the purple brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. Affordable-electric.com is your place to go during National Fire Prevention Week. Affordable-electric. They're shockingly affordable.
KFAN welcomes Trans-Siberian Orchestra for 2 amazing shows at Target Center on December 28th at 3 p.m. and 7:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now. Get the complete show details, including a link to buy tickets at KFAN.com, keyword calendar.
Rock rank. I'm Common. He's Tennessee. Brian Oak of the Brian Oak. Is it called the Brian Oak Podcast?
It's the Brian Oak Show
Brian Oak
podcast.
Show podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Where can people find it?
That's a great question, Common.
I thought you'd say so.
It's I just did episode 521, and it is available where you get your podcast, but of course recommended. The nation's, really the world's #1 destination for podcasts is the iHeartMedia, our radio app. You can find it right on there whenever you like, and if you find it and you listen to it and you like talking about music and finding out more about Minnesota and the region scene, then you will have a deep, rich archive to go back and filter through. We've been doing it. We're coming up on our 6-year anniversary, which is crazy. And it makes money. What?
And it makes money.
It does.
You got to like that.
Unlike showing up here. But you know what? We know what this does? It doesn't fill my bank account. It fills my heart account is what it does.
And then it does give you a forum to announce that you're out there so people can go, hey, you know what? Maybe I'll check that out. And then they check it out. And
then they go, oh, this guy, oh, yeah, he does talk too much. Yeah, no, he does love the sound of his own voice. But I'm assuming if they like listening to you, then they're probably already okay with somebody who likes the sound of their own voice.
2025 Rock and Roll Hall induction ceremony will be Saturday, November 8th.
Okay.
Well, how did I miss the inductees? I had no idea.
I guess I might have missed them too. I didn't realize it was coming up that fast.
Well, key inductees include
Go on.
Outcast.
Yeah.
Cyndi Lauper, Bad Company, The White Stripes, and Chubby. Maybe we did talk about this. I guess we did.
Maybe we talked about it when they first, like, the broader list of nominees came out, because these all sound like familiar names, but I don't remember hearing that it's been whittled down to those right there.
Yeah, the inductees are Bad Company, Chubby Checker, Cyndi Lauper, Joe Cocker, Outcast, Soundgarden, and The White Stripes. Musical Influence Award goes to Warren Zevon and Salt and Peppa.
Yep.
Salt and Peppa.
I'm on board with every one of them.
Musical Excellence Award goes to Peter Frampton.
Oh, well, again, I got to admit, I don't go as deep on the Frampton catalog and legacy as you do.
Yeah.
But again, that one, none of these make me mad. And I'm not, these are all people who are deserving of lifetime achievement style accolades. I think they all belong in there.
Now, the people that are performing, Elton John, who I know who he is.
Yeah, yes, you do. Yes, you do.
I've heard of Doja Cat, but I couldn't tell you anything about Doja Cat.
Doja Cat is incredible. Young artist. She is, hip-hop, R&B, kind of more hip-hop, but definitely something for the kids and the slightly older kids, not for people like you and I. That being said, I enjoy a couple of her songs.
Who's Missy Elliott?
Missy Elliott, come on, man. Missy Elliott is, Tenna is going to know who Missy Elliott is. Missy Elliott is somewhere between this modern era of your Doechis and your Doja Cats and the real old schoolers like Queen Latifah and MC Lyte. She sort of spans the gap. When Diddy, when he was at the height of his popularity, she was also there. She was one of those people that also hired Hype Williams to do her videos, so she has these groundbreaking videos. But she's also got real talent and real skill. Went away for a while, then came back a few years later, lost a ton of weight, still could spit her game, and Missy Elliott is a legend in American hip-hop music.
Yeah, I did not know. I'm not a hip-hop follower.
She does a great song that covers Tina Turner's Can't Stand the Rain, which is fantastic. But she's also got a song called Watch Me Now. Oh, man, not Watch Me Now, but I can't think of the name.
Which song do you like better? What was that one you just said, Tina Turner?
Can't Stand the Rain.
Which one do you like better, Can't Stand the Rain or Who'll Stop the Rain?
Oh.
Or Blame It on the Rain.
Or Blame It on the Rain.
Oh, not that one. Although I don't mind.
Don't hate on Milli Vanilli.
Dude, I got a Milli Vanilli story that would curl your hairs, young man.
How so?
We're
not going to get any trouble over this.
No, nothing like that. Years ago, in fact, my first or second year in professional radio, I worked at a station called...
They were the ones that were lip syncing and weren't really doing the songs.
And they got busted, but which again was such a lie, because do you know how many people had ringers come in to do their studio performances? No. Everybody. And so, but yeah, no, they were both model handsome and wore tight lycra shorts with big chunky boots and had the dreadlocks and did a lot of dancing.
What's your story?
They were international superstars. Anyway, when I first started in radio, I worked at Rev 105, and every year there would be an outdoor music festival called Cedar Fest over on the West Bank. Mm-hmm. And one year, G-Love was playing, and I'd been asked to do security. I've never done anything like this before.
Security?
Well, we were all doing everything. I had to do intros but I just had to stand at the velvet rope, essentially, at the VIP area. And one of the two members, I'm not sure if it was Milli or Vanilli, but his real life name was Rob Pilatus. And he walked up, and I recognized him immediately. He's like, hey, man, can I get back there? I'd really like to meet G-Love. And, of course, at this point, I was young and naive and didn't want to get in trouble and didn't know how the game worked. Of course, you let Rob Pilatus backstage at some silly little upper Midwestern music festival.
But you said I can't do that.
I did say that. And I did not let Rob Pilatus backstage at a crap. He must have, aside from the fall of Milli Vanilli, having some young, long-haired punk like me telling him he can't go backstage to meet G Love. I don't know what I was thinking. And then sadly, the real tragic end of the story is that years later, Rob Pilatus took his own life. Oof. Yeah, so it doesn't have a happy ending, but I carry shame on that one because I did it wrong, with the lesson I learned. But then the guy left, and I just hope I was not a contributing factor.
I recanted this tale to you, and you sided with security. It was a number of years ago, 4, 5, 6 years ago, here at the Studio C performance, and Melissa Etheridge was going to be here. Now, Melissa's best days have come and gone, I think, right?
Of course.
I mean, she was a huge star. My wife.
You can say the same thing about us.
Yeah, well, there you go. My wife's a huge fan of Melissa Etheridge. So she was there. I thought, you know what? I'll go sit in and watch her set.
Yeah.
So she sang a couple of ditties about Jack and Diane, and then she went to the little green room there. And as I was walking back, I was saying, I'm just going to stick my head in there and say, hey, that was really good. My wife loves you. Security guys there. I said, hey, nope.
And was it some intern or staffer?
No, it was somebody
who had her own
hers.
security.
And I'm like, I look around, I'm like, I work here at the radio. It's a radio.
Did you drop do you know who I am on it?
No, but I'm thinking to myself, I'm
right.
It really, I mean, this isn't like we're at Madison Square Garden and it's chaos and stuff. It's like,
and there's thousands of people trying to get in.
And I just went, really? He said, yeah, really. I said, okay. And I just watched because it wasn't that big of a deal to me, but I just thought he'd go, yeah, make it quick and just, hey, Melissa, my wife loves you. Well, thank you. And
exactly. And I again, so if I sided with security when you first told me that story, it's not because I think you did anything egregious, but let's be honest, managers and handlers, their single job is to insert themselves between the public and the artist, right? And so I've run into that a ton of times where I've tried to be like, hey, can I say a quick hello? Nope. Okay, even though I just introed the set? No? Okay. And so you just, that's their job, and it doesn't really get anybody anywhere by fighting with them. So unless it's someone near and dear to your heart and you want to show the artist the tattoo of them that you got, I wouldn't fight it and just move along.
Last week, we talked about the Super Bowl halftime show, the performer. It was announced it's Bad Bunny.
Correct.
Not Good Rabbit, but Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny.
If I was an artist, I would... Because this would get you PR. I would call myself good rabbit.
Well, but you know what? No, Bad Bunny. That means you're like a bad boy.
No, but what I'm saying is that people would go, well, they would immediately go, well, who's good rabbit? See what I'm saying? I would just play off the name.
I understand.
To try to do that. But not everybody's thrilled with the choice of Bad Bunny on the halftime show.
Well, and again, I do not want to make this political because it's not really about that. It's about lack of perspective. We talked about this last week with the selection of Bad Bunny. Does it make sense? Why is he on there? Because the outrage, once again, has been wildly outsized for what it's just the Super Bowl halftime show. So everyone needs to relax. And Trump made some offhanded comment a couple weeks ago about how he didn't even know who that was.
I didn't either. A lot of people don't know who Bad Bunny is.
But does that make it a bad choice?
I don't think so.
Well, U.S. House of Representatives, House Committee, the Speaker, he has come out now. I don't know why the administration's getting involved in Super Bowl halftime entertainment. Just kidding. I totally do, but we're not going to talk about that here. But the House Speaker of the entire United States, told a reporter that this was a terrible decision and went on to say, quote, he didn't even know who Bad Bunny was. So you can say it's a terrible decision without having any context or any knowledge whatsoever. What did he say? He had a great line. He said, he sounds like he's not someone who will appeal to a broader audience, which is one of the most ignorant things that's ever come out of any elected official's mouth. And that's saying something right there. I just wanted to mention a couple things that Bad Bunny's done. He was on SNL this past Saturday, not as the musical guest, as the actual host. This guy is such a cultural phenomenon here in the U.S., like it or not, whether or not you've heard of him.
I missed it.
Well, anyway.
What a bad break for me.
But he had a very interesting monologue where he addressed the fact that he wasn't in. But just a couple of the statistics to let you know, like I said last week, the NFL is not about making rash decisions or dumb decisions. They are about growing that multi-billion-dollar empire they've created up to and including the halftime entertainment for their single biggest spectacle of the entire season. So why would they choose Bad Bunny? Well, Well, he's 31 years old. He holds the record for being the first Latin artist to have 100, I repeat, 100 career Billboard Hot 100 songs.
100?
100. As meaning that he's either a producer or a performer or that he's been involved with 100, as well as having the very first, in all time, Spanish album to reach number 1 on the Billboard 200 album chart. He did it back in 2020 with El Ultimo. He also has tied Taylor Swift's record for the most number 1s on the Billboard Global 200 of any solo artist. Taylor Swift. That's what a big deal this dude is right here. He's also recorded the single most streamed album of all time on Spotify. That was his 2022 record, Un Verano Sin Ti. And he's consistently one of the most streamed global artists, holding the top spot for 3 consecutive years while wrapping up 80 million monthly Spotify listeners over the course of his career. 80 million. So for them to say, well, it makes you think, and again, I don't care about the political affiliation of the administration. First of all, why does the government care about who's playing at the halftime show? But then to make such wildly ignorant comments on such a massive stage, well, I've never heard of him, but he doesn't sound like that kind of person that has a very broad appeal. You can't pick another name right now. Well, we're talking about globalism at a time where the NFL is trying to expand their global reach like never before. You can't tell me another artist that fills the bill better than Bad Bunny to help the NFL reach their ends and their goals. But to say he doesn't have a broad appeal, it's backwards. It's super, super ignorant.
I can name one that would be more popular.
Go.
Wascally Wabbit. Have you ever heard of a Wascally Wabbit?
I appreciate what you're doing.
Wascally Wabbit is my favorite artist.
Damn it. Unbelievable.
Wascally Wabbit.
Do you know who the House Speaker, Mike Johnson, said would be a better option than Bad Bunny?
Who?
83-year-old singer-songwriter Lee Greenwood, who performed his now legendary song, Proud to be an American, at one of the most recent conventions for the Republicans. And also, we just, you hear his song at least once during every fireworks display ever. Name one other Lee Greenwood song.
I would say Lee Greenwood miuld be my choice, or Ted Nugent.
There you go.
One of those two would be my choice.
But again, you have to remember why he was chosen. I mean, either people just don't know and they're ignorant, and that's fine. We all age out of things after a while, but that's not the game the NFL's playing. You're a racist because he's got all Spanish albums that don't use any English, and how is that acceptable? How is that entertainment for me and my football-loving needs? The people who are so vociferous about this, that are so bent out of shape about it, they're just wrong. Bad Bunny is, again, and I don't even really like him. I don't like his music. That's not for me. But to say it's a bad choice just because you don't like it or you've never heard of him, or worse, if you've got racial tendencies.
Do you think that might be in us? Let's be careful.
Oh, yeah. I think there's a ton of racists out there, and that's why they hate this. A ton.
Oh, I thought you meant the speaker might be.
No. I'm not insinuating anything about the government. I'm not being political. But there are absolutely people out. Did you see the response to Kendrick Lamar playing last year? There is no question that there is.
I thought you meant just in this case with.
No. I'm not saying that he said it for that reason. But one can never be sure.
I like Wascally Wabbit.
That would remove a lot of the controversy.
I've never watched a Super Bowl halftime show and never will.
Not one?
No, it doesn't do anything.
Because there are some legendary ones. Yeah, but again, I can let most of them go.
But what they do is they do a medley of songs, and they have dancers and fireworks, and that's not
it's spectacular. It's not supposed to be an intimate little singer-songwriter storyteller's concert.
I just want intimate.
Well, okay, but again,
singer-songwriter.
You're not the part of the demo that the NFL's trying to cultivate.
No, I get that. I'm just saying.
That's literally the number one reason they chose Bad Bunny.
I was just stating why I don't.
I understand.
I won't see Bad Bunny perform. Once they go to halftime of the big game, that's when I go get something to eat, use the restroom, and do a couple other things.
A lot of the sweet commercials air during the halftime now.
And then
they pay extra to be close to that performance.
And then at that point, I check back into the game.
I understand.
Rock rank.
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 I feel like this one's been kind of a 180 from Bad Bunny. But I did not tell Oak this one because I don't feel like he needs to prep
That's
for
what
this
he
one.
told me. He told me, he said normally he checks with you because he likes to at least have a general idea. And he
Just
said,
a vague idea.
I don't think he really needs to do research for this one.
And this time he said that you told him you don't need any research.
And I also want the common man, Dan Cole. I actually want you to
Rock
go
rank.
first. I actually want you to go
Rock rank.
first on Rock
Okay.
Rank because I'm sure you've put a lot of thought into this before.
I will say Wascally Wabbit would be mine.
Top 5 Beatles songs of all time.
Oh, man. See, this is the kind you need to have.
You need to prep for that?
Well, because
Common doesn't.
There's so many good. Yeah,
let Common go first.
No, he's thinking about it because to narrow it down to the 5 best of all of them.
It would be. I'm not going to do order. I'm just going to name off my 5 favorites.
Okay. We're supposed to rank them.
Well, I can't write off because, like you say, right off the top of my head, they have 232 songs. I like 200 of them. 32 don't do much for me. So of the 200, I have to think because I don't want to leave any out. I would say my favorite. That's easy. Strawberry Fields Forever is my favorite Beatles song of all time.
And I can't argue with
absolutely positively my favorite also.
Mm-hmm.
My next favorite song. It can change from day to day or how I feel. I'm a big fan of a Dear Prudence, song number 2, side 1, White Album. I think it's simply a brilliant song. It's about Mia Farrow's sister, who was also on the trip to see the Maharishi, and John Lennon wrote it about her.
Mm-hmm.
A Day in the Life, I guess I have to put in there.
It's a great song.
Most people rank that as the very best song they ever did. It's not for me, but my favorite.
That's on Sgt. Pepper, right?
Yeah, that's
and most people regard that as the pinnacle of rock music creation, certainly in the 60s.
Yeah. Then I would probably. It's too hard. I can't. I would have needed more time.
This one needs more prep than any of the other ones we've done so far. Yeah. Just because there are so many, and it's so esoteric, and it is there's just and it depends on what you like. The great thing about the Beatles and part of their enduring
here's another
legacy,
one I'll tell you.
They did something for everybody.
Here's what I'll tell you. Why don't we do it in the road? No, I just thought I'd throw that. Why don't we do it in the road? That's the whole song.
I mean, like top 5 albums would be easy for me to do off the top of my head.
Dig it like a rolling stone.
Yeah, you do.
Did you know that's actually like a 7, 8, 9 minute jam that they just took that 48 seconds and put it on the Let It Be album?
That doesn't surprise me because that album they were trying to, that was probably the most tumultuous period of their entire existence was the one when they because they recorded Abbey Road after Let It Be, but Let It Be came out after Abbey Road.
Then another song that I know you don't like, because I'm a Let It Be. My favorite album that they ever did is Let It Be. That's my favorite album.
Yep.
And I love the song I Dig a Pony. And I know you think that's kind of, and I just think it's a brilliant piece of work. I just
what
like
about
Lennon's
One After
stuff.
909? You big fan of that one?
No, that's not even. They didn't write that one. That's a song that they did when they played it. They just decided to throw it on there because they always liked it. That's when they played the Cavern Club when they were doing covers and stuff.
Right.
And they just did that. They just said they always liked the song, so they just wanted to add it. But I was not a big One After 909 guy. No, that's why off that album, that's probably my least favorite song after that. I love Across the Universe. Most Lennon stuff is my favorite.
Across the Universe would be in my top 5.
Okay.
But also so would Because is another brilliant song. I like some of the early stuff. I love some of the early stuff like Help. Help or Hard Day's Night. Either one of those would occupy one of those early big giant solo, because they were a cover band when they started, and then they started to change the entire game. But you look at Revolver, like Tomorrow Never Knows is an absolutely brilliant song. But if you're looking for like an insightful, incisive, biting social commentary, Taxman is brilliant. Eleanor Rigby might be the most beautiful Baroque pop song ever written in the history of popular music. Narrowing it down to 5 and trying to put them in any sort of cohesive order.
I Am the Walrus is another. It's a Lennon song. It's a brilliant piece of work. And you know the story behind that.
I do.
People were trying to decipher Beatles lyrics all the time. When Lennon was informed of that, he goes, let him try to decipher this one.
Yep.
He just wrote, it's just, what do we say about, what's that phrase, word salad? It's kind of just words. He just mixes a bunch of
He mixed some British stuff in there, some surreal imagery.
Yeah, and it's
literally about nothing. Well, he was told that by a former teacher that the school that he attended was now doing classes about Beatles lyrics. He's like, oh, are they? And so he put that
Another
out.
brilliant piece of work he did was for the benefit of Mr. Kite, and he got that idea from just a poster for a circus.
Right.
And he said, I think I could. Another one is Happiness is a Warm Gun.
That's the White Album is.
And he got, how we got that? He said he saw a magazine, it was like Guns and Ammo or something like that. And
right.
The story title was Happiness is a Warm Gun. And he just came up with it. And it's like 3 different songs in one. And it's very well done.
Another Harrison song off White Album, Savoy Truffle, is just this crazy cool jam. Also off White Album, Everybody's Got Something to Hide Except for Me and My Monkey, a Lennon jam. Super upbeat, super cool, rock and roll. Obviously, Helter Skelter's on that record.
Paperback Writer's one of your favorites.
Absolutely one of my. I mean, that's definitely
5,
that's
right?
for sure top 5.
How about
Back in the USSR might be in my top 5.
Yeah. How about In My Life?
That's okay.
I think it's simply brilliant.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. It's a great song.
I might put that in my top.
So you got 30 songs in your top 5, is what you're saying.
Well, with the Beatles, that even narrowing it down to 30 might be tough. But this one would require real thinking because there's so much meat on that bone.
You guys haven't even hit on like my top 5 songs.
What do you got?
Yours is Let It Be.
Well, Let It Be is my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a very good song.
I know it's cliche, but I like Yesterday at number 2.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
Another song that I really have no idea what's going on in the song, and maybe it was just Lennon putting words together, but I like it, and I know Common has an attachment to it. Obla Di Obla Da.
Obla Di Obla. That was actually a McCartney song.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, matter of fact, during the making of that album, the other 3 members hated Obla Di Obla Da, and they were bitter because McCartney wanted to put so much time and effort into it. They spent hours and hours, and they're like, they didn't say it, but they said, this is an awful song. We want nothing to do with it. I love it. It was Baby Brother Peter's favorite song. Yeah.
It's a goofy sort of Tin Pan Alley type of it's
same with Maxwell Silver Hammer. That's another one by McCartney, and everybody in the band hated that song.
I like that song.
They hated I wasn't a big fan of it.
Yeah.
And I like While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Ooh. Perfect. That's a high water mark right there.
That's a Harrison song, and actually Eric Clapton plays the lead guitar part on that and on the White Album. But I think everybody knows about when they did some kind of, I don't know, it was some kind of a concert benefit, and Prince played the guitar solo on that.
I think that was at the Rock Hall of Fame when that went down.
Was, if you watch that is simply and
watch how he ends his guitar solo by simply launching his guitar into the audience.
Well, and here's I always knew Prince was a great guitar player. But until I saw that, because I don't know, I'm not suggesting that's his greatest performance ever, but for me it was, I like Prince. I don't go deep into Prince, but when I saw that, I went, oh, yeah, he can play guitar really good.
He's one of the greatest of all time.
The Brian Oak Show podcast. And where can we find it?
Right there on the free iHeartRadio app, which you should have anyways, because you can listen to KFAN wherever you are. And should you get the itch, the Brian Oak Show podcast has got more than 500 episodes for you to peruse.
Here's where we missed a lot. You were supposed to recap when you went to see Queensryche in Chicago.
Queens of the Stone Age.
Queens of the Stone Age.
Well, let's talk about it next week because it was brilliant.
Okay.
It was way too quick a turnaround to drive to Chicago one day and come back the next, but it was a brilliant time. We'll go a little deeper next week.
We'll do that next week. Thanks so much. That's Brian Oak on Rock Talk with Rock Rank. 53410, what you got?
Yeah, the Wolves are being disrespected.